If you still think BRICS is just a talking club, you are missing the biggest economic shift of our time. Something remarkable is happening across three continents right now. While mainstream media focuses on conflict and crisis, BRICS nations are building the infrastructure of tomorrow. New trade routes, technology partnerships, economic reforms that are delivering real results. This is the story of nations choosing cooperation over confrontation, and it's reshaping the entire global economy. I am here at Think BRICS, where we cover the developments that mainstream media outlets overlook, the partnerships, the investments, the infrastructure projects that are building a more balanced world. Today, we are exploring four major developments from late 2025 that show how the Global South is charting its own path forward. First, we will look at the $750 million intercontinental air route connecting China, Africa, and South America, proving that developing nations can build world-class infrastructure through mutual cooperation. Second, we'll examine how BRICS countries are pioneering special economic zones focused on AI, green technology, and agriculture, sharing expertise and building capacity across the developing world. Third, we'll see how Nigeria is leveraging BRICS partnerships alongside bold domestic reforms to achieve its fastest economic growth in 4 years. And fourth, we'll discuss the renewed sanctions on Iran and their impact on India's strategic food project, showing how unilateral measures create obstacles for nations seeking diversified partnerships. These are more than just economic stories. They represent a fundamental shift toward a multipolar world where developing nations have genuine alternatives. To gain a deep understanding of the emerging global landscape, subscribe now. We are a small independent channel that depends on supporters like you. We are very close to reaching 100,000 subscribers, so give us a boost. And thank you to everyone who believed in our work. You are amazing. Now let's explore these developments together. September has been a month rich in news and events for the BRICS group. Something remarkable happened in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Chinese and Ethiopian officials gathered to celebrate a trade route that's rewriting the rules of global commerce, the Xiamen Addis Ababa Sao Paulo air route. This isn't some minor logistics project. Since launching in February 2023, this route has completed 598 flights. It has facilitated 750 million in trade. It has moved 39,000 metric tons of cargo across three continents. Think about that for a moment. China, Africa, and South America are directly connected through infrastructure built on mutual benefit. This represents sovereign nations trading on their own terms. Zhuang Rongliang, Vice Mayor of Xiamen and Director of the BRICS Partnership on New Industrial Revolution Innovation Center, made it clear this route dramatically enhances connectivity between BRICS nations. Ethiopia's State Minister of Industry, Terekeg Bululta, went further. Forgive me if my pronunciation is not correct. He invited Chinese investors to partner with Ethiopian entrepreneurs. He emphasized how this cooperation accelerates projects, reduces risks, and builds local capacity. Ethiopia wants to become a manufacturing powerhouse, and through BRICS cooperation, they are building the expertise to do it through agriculture, mining, digitalization, green development, and capacity building. Here is what makes this significant. This development model prioritizes building productive capacity, real infrastructure, technology transfer, skills development. This is fundamentally different from models that prioritize financial returns over local capacity building. At the Addis Ababa event, the BRICS Partner Innovation Center signed a cooperation agreement with the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation. The goal: create a platform for BRICS enterprises to access the Ethiopian market efficiently. This is institutional groundwork. This is how you translate geopolitical vision into profitable intercontinental commerce. And it's just the beginning. In late September 2025, something big happened in Hangzhou, China. The city hosted the Dialogue on BRICS Special Economic Zones. This was a meeting to craft a blueprint for tech cooperation. The event ran alongside the fourth Global Digital Trade Expo. It was the first major gathering since March 2025. That's when the China Center for Special Economic Zones launched. Two major reports came out at this event: the BRICS Electronic Bill of Lending report and the BRICS Special Economic Zones report. This second report is the first of its kind. It maps cooperation trends across BRICS nations. It shows what's working in China and it plots future pathways for growth. The report highlights three key areas. First, artificial intelligence. Second, green energy transition. Third, agriculture. We are talking about the foundation of modern development. Here is what makes BRICS different. Traditional models often keep technology locked up. Instead, BRICS shares knowledge and builds local skills. The Hangzhou initiative on AI cooperation was launched right there. Major companies like Alibaba Cloud and the Export-Import Bank of China joined in. Also, officials from Egypt and Brazil held serious talks that discussed AI innovation in special economic zones. Attendees praised BRICS for being open and inclusive. They stressed that developing nations should lead innovation, not just follow it. The green energy discussion was equally important. Climate change is real. Energy transitions are critical. If China is leading in many sectors, these successes can spread through the BRICS countries. But the dialogue didn't stop at talk. Over 40 Chinese companies met with international partners. They discussed real projects: pharmaceuticals, digital infrastructure, smart logistics. Four major deals were signed, including the Qiantang BRICS Fund project and financing for aluminium production in Indonesia. This is concrete action. The multipolar world is being built right now. What do you think about this tech cooperation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now let's look at how individual nations are leveraging BRICS partnerships for development and how unilateral measures create obstacles for countries seeking diversified relationships. On September 30, 2025, Nigeria's First Lady welcomed the Russian BRICS Women's Business Alliance to Abuja. The alliance announced plans for a regional office in Nigeria, connecting women entrepreneurs who own over 40% of Nigeria's small and medium enterprises to international markets. Nigerian officials emphasized their desire for actionable cooperation frameworks and lasting business networks. With BRICS representing 45% of global population and 40% of world GDP, these partnerships offer substantial opportunities. Meanwhile, Nigeria is undergoing dramatic economic reforms. On the occasion of the 65th anniversary of independence, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu declared that the worst is over for Nigeria's economy. His administration made difficult decisions: scrapping fuel subsidies, unifying the foreign exchange rate. The results: Nigeria's economy grew by 4.23% in the second quarter of 2025, the fastest second quarter growth in 4 years. Inflation dropped to 20% in August, a 3-year low. External reserves reached $42 billion, a 6-year high. Oil production rebounded to 1.68 million barrels per day. This is what sovereignty looks like: strategic reforms, diversified partnerships, real results. However, this progress toward multipolarity is meeting resistance from those who prefer the old unipolar system. And that brings us to today's latest news. On September 28th, the United Nations Security Council reinstated sanctions against Iran through the controversial snapback mechanism. The United Kingdom, France, and Germany, the so-called Euro 3, reactivated 6 United Nations resolutions from 2006 to 2010. These sanctions prohibit uranium enrichment, arms supplies, technology for space and missile programs. They strangle Iran's oil, gas, and banking sectors. Russia and China tried to stop it. They introduced a resolution to extend the Iranian nuclear deal by 6 months. The Security Council rejected it. Russia and China do not consider these sanctions legitimate. They argue that proper procedural steps were bypassed. The immediate consequence: the United States revoked India's exemption for developing the Chabahar port project in Iran. The move was described as consistent with President Trump's maximum pressure policy. Chabahar is strategically vital to India. It provides a trade gateway bypassing Pakistan to reach Afghanistan and the Middle East. India Ports Global Limited committed $370 million to the port's development. Now India has 45 days to exit or face severe penalties. Frozen US assets, restricted transactions. This is how the empire operates. Punish any nation that seeks independence. Force them to choose, submit, or suffer. But here is what they don't understand. Every time they deploy these weapons, they push nations closer to BRICS. India is now likely to align more closely with China and Russia to reduce reliance on the US economy, to decouple from Western-controlled financial networks. The empire's desperation is accelerating the very outcome they fear most. So we are witnessing a historic turning point. BRICS represents more than economics. It's a vision for balanced global development. The 750 million air route, Hangzhou's technology partnerships, and Nigeria's reforms demonstrate that cooperation delivers results. Meanwhile, sanctions on Iran reveal the limits of coercion. Each unilateral measure strengthens the case for alternatives. The choice is clear: embrace multipolar cooperation or maintain unipolar control through pressure. BRICS represents hope, development, dignity. The empire represents extraction, destruction, domination. Which future do you want? If this information matters to you, subscribe and support our channel. We are a small organization. We depend on people like you, not billionaires or lobbyists. Share this video. Spread the news. The multipolar world is here, and there is no going back. Thanks for watching.